Let's see, who do we have here? Okay, we've got a couple of new faces, but we'll get into those faces. Let's move this. Watch me drop everything on the floor. Okay. Yeah, so let's just quickly talk about, before we get into the dolls, about my teeth extraction technique that a lot of people keep asking me about, which is fine. I don't mind them asking. But if you're wondering how I close the mouths on my dolls, here's one for an example that you can look at. This is my June sculpt, and I recently just did a little bit of touch-ups to her face. And so since people keep asking me about it, I'm just gonna go over it really fast with you guys. So in order to close your doll's mouth, you need 3 things. Number 1 is you need a razor. You need something sharp that you can carve out the teeth with, and this is what I use. So basically any kind of X-Acto type of blade will be fine, whatever you're comfortable using. You need a toothpick or something like a toothpick that has a very thin tip, like a needle. And then you also need, this is the specific glue that I use. If you don't have this glue, I don't know what can substitute this particular glue. I've tried many different kinds of glue, and none of it has worked for me except for this glue. I've used this technique with multiple kinds of glue, you guys. None of them work for me. Only super glue gel. Okay, so I don't know if the gel comes as like ultra or a different level, but it has to be the gel kind, not the liquid kind. You need it to be controllable. If the glue is too runny, like too watery, you're not going to be able to control the consistency that you're using. So that's why it has to be gel. So once you have those 3 items, that's all you need, 3 things, then you can start the process of extracting the teeth. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to follow the lines that are already in the doll's face from the teeth, the white part of the teeth. You can do that with the lips still painted, or you can remove the paint if it's easier for you to see what you're doing. But I've done it both ways. It just depends on the shape of the teeth that are in that doll's mouth, which one will work better for you. So you have to just gauge. But yeah, once I figure that out, then I'll just cut a straight line on the top and the bottom. So I'll cut the top and the bottom part of the teeth, and then basically wiggle the strip of vinyl out that is the teeth. And then when you squish the face in, you'll be able to see that the lips want to touch each other. They'll close up. So in that space, you're going to take the toothpick and put a teeny tiny little dab. Let me tell you how small of a dab I use, okay? Let's see if we can focus. See, whoa, that's too much. See, that much that came out is way too much. That's way too much. You don't even need this much. You just need a little, like maybe a quarter of that. Just a dab of it. And then you spread it inside. Ugh. What is with, you know, every time I come outside, it's always some loud person freaking just driving around like they ain't got nothing better to do. All right. Hi, guys. So yeah. So we'll get back to the dolls, but I just wanted to kind of sort of like give you like a refresher on my lip tooth surgery technique, because so many people keep asking me about it. And I do have a video tutorial on this channel that you can find, and just search how to close Barbie's mouth and it should pop up. It should be like one of the first videos that come up on YouTube. So I do have a tutorial where I show you exactly what I do, multiple examples. I walk you through the whole process. It's a little bit long of a video, but there are no other videos like this one anywhere on the internet. So just skip through it to the parts where you need help, and then you guys should be able to figure it out. Some other people, hi sweetheart. What does that say? Hold on a second. Sweet Earth, that's what it says. I know I read that wrong. Hi. So yeah, so if you guys are wondering how to do that, it's very simple. You don't need that much stuff to do it, and it's Only difficult if you're bad at keeping a steady hand to like remove the actual teeth in a straight line. That's the hardest part of it. Everything else is simple. So that's the part that takes the longest. That's the part that requires the most amount of concentration and lighting so that you can see what you're doing. And if you cut wrong, like, that's it. If you cut wrong, that's it. So you have to pay attention when you're cutting. Don't do it when you're like preoccupied trying to do a bunch of things at once. Hi, Delicious. And my other tip for you also with the teeth is that if you are able to, hi Mini G, if you're able to draw, if you're like good at painting, then don't worry about messing up the doll's lip paints, because you can just go over it. You don't even have to erase it. You can just go over the paint with your own paint to touch it up, and then it'll look fine. And with this doll, if you look really closely, you can still see that there's a demarcation where her lips, they split. You can see the line, but because of the way that it's done, it's not noticeable. It's not noticeable to the point where it takes away from the doll's face, where you're like distracted by it. Yeah, my teeth, it doesn't want to focus because my face is in the way. But anyway, but we'll turn the camera back around so you guys can get a better look. But anyway, that's all I did to her face. So and her face was harder to do because she doesn't have big teeth. Like, if the doll has a long, wide smile, it's easier because you can see everything. But her teeth were like a sliver, like a tiny little sliver of teeth showing. And just because I'm OCD like that, I still wanted to try it and extract them. So I did, but I just needlessly put myself through like way too much trouble when I didn't even need to do all of that. So yeah, so hopefully you guys don't have that issue. One other thing that I want to discuss before we get into these dolls is, I think this is very important because we have a very diverse community of doll collectors out here who are trying to connect with each other online, and this kind of stuff makes it very difficult for people to know where they're welcome and where they're not. So this is a message to my non-ethnic collectors who love ethnic dolls. I have gotten multiple messages from people asking, to me, ridiculous things that they should not have to be asking someone, but they end up having to ask, and I feel bad that they end up having to ask. But I have to put this out here because y'all know how we do. All I know how to do is keep it real, you guys. I can't do anything else. I don't know how to do anything else. So as a representative of this community, it's like my duty to say something. I've had people ask me if it's racist for them to change the skin tones of their dolls manually. So if your doll didn't come with the skin tone and she wants to change the body to, like, say you can't find a match for this doll, so you're trying to, you know, match this skin tone to her face, but you only have non-brown dolls to work with, they're asking, is it racist if I like get the doll and then change the body to make it match the doll's face? Is that a racist thing? Like, is that wrong? Am I not supposed to be doing that? And that's ridiculous, you guys. And they keep asking these questions because they say other black collectors are telling them that it's bad. And I'm like, who's telling you this? Y'all, please stop. Please stop it. If you are a brown person who is a collector out here and you see in other people trying to represent diversity in their dolls, and they have to mod their dolls in some drastic fashion in order to do that, leave them alone. Leave them alone. They're not being racist. There's nothing racist about it. It's plastic. They are dolls. Calm down. I don't understand that. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. And people need to leave each other alone. Leave them alone. If they want to make their dolls into fairies and aliens and whatever they want to turn their dolls into, leave them be. It's fine. Those of you guys who are wondering these things and you're like afraid to post your pictures, please ignore those people. If somebody is coming at you saying something funny, block them. Don't respond to them. You do not have to answer to these people. They're being overly sensitive and ridiculous. And y'all, I'm half black and I've lived around black people for a long time, and it's just a part of our community where we get overly sensitive over racial issues because of the history of our people here. And I totally get why we're like this, but some of us be taking it too far. Some of us don't know when to shut up and leave the next person alone. Some of us be getting a little too aggressive with it and just becoming a hard body like they're on some kind of campaign. It's so petty and stupid, and please don't feed into this nonsense. And if you are a brown person who's seeing other people doing this, please stop letting them attack our fellow collectors and just bothering them and like distressing them mentally, because they're not racist people. They're trying to showcase their love for diversity by changing their dolls up to make them more diverse looking. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Leave them alone. That would be like somebody straight having a doll that represents LGBTQ community, and then the LGBTQ people coming after them and saying, this is crazy, you're appropriating, why your dolls got rainbows on. Leave them alone. You feel me? Stuff like that gets on my nerves so bad. I don't like that, and I don't like people doing that to people who they don't have enough of a voice to like stand up for themselves or speak up for themselves, or they're not as educated on these things, so they don't know how to respond. They don't really know if their response could be considered offensive. We just live in a society where people are living online all day and they don't have lives of their own outside of what's going on social media, and they think it's okay to just run around and tell everybody else what to do. It's not okay. So if you're asking these questions, I'm telling you right now, ignore it. Ignore people who do this to you. And if you guys are running into other collectors who have these kinds of issues, or you see them beefing with other collectors, send them over here and tell them Gypsy said it's fine, relax. You know what I'm saying? Dolly, so how can it be racist if we just want to have a perfect body match? Being, yeah, exactly, stop being a Karen. That is literally how I get made to move like bodies for Chelsea dolls. Absolutely. And it's just so stupid, because I'm like, if you were a black person that was changing your dolls into white dolls, is anybody gonna say something to you? Nobody cares. No one's gonna say anything. You know how many dolls I have that are representing Caucasians, and I'll like add extra freckles on their faces and do different things that are like considered more European kind of features, I guess, but like, so so what? All right. Or if I straighten the hair of my doll that has an afro, am I trying to make her white? Like, calm down. You understand what I'm saying? I can't. I don't like stuff like that. So I have to say something publicly about it, because I get so sick of hearing people asking me these questions. I don't get mad at them because they're asking. I understand why they're asking. I get upset for them, because I'm like, how dare these people make you feel like this? Who the hell do they think they are? That's so disgusting. I hate that. Another issue that I've been running into, people asking me about, one of my viewers, Lynn, was asking me, if it was okay that she had named one of her dolls after me, Gypsy. And a lot of my viewers who watch have dolls that represent me in their collections, and they role play with the dolls, and it's totally fine, right? But the reason why she asked me this was because she had joined this woman is not a black woman. She joined a black doll collecting community on, I think, Facebook. And when she had posted a picture of her doll stating that the doll was named Gypsy after me, a person named Gypsy, they started jumping down her throat telling her it was racist because Gypsy is a derogatory term. First of all, why are you in the black groups telling somebody Gypsy is a derogatory term when it's not a derogatory term for anybody black? So I don't know why that even matters. That's for one. For two, Gypsy is only a derogatory term if you use it in a derogatory way towards Romani people, and you meaning it to be in a derogatory way. If you don't mean it like that, Gypsy is also a word. So like, that's not how that goes. There's plenty of people with the birth name Gypsy just walking around with that name. There's nothing racist or derogatory about it. That's weird. You feel me? And if you know anything about gypsies, the Romani people do refer to themselves as gypsies regularly. I'm not saying all of them do, but some of those people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But my name, Gypsy, don't got nothing to do with those people. That has nothing to do with that. That's just my name. So, so people, you see, like I spell it with an I-E, right? If you got people trying to tell you that it's derogatory to call your doll a name after another human being, something is wrong with them. Please remove yourself from those groups of people, because they're abusers. They are abusive, they're control freaks, and they just want to tell you what to do to make you feel bad because they got some kind of insecurity. That's their problem. You feel me? That's ridiculous. You guys, I got a friend, a white friend, who calls me Blasian. Like, her and her entire family calls me Blasian. To my face, that's my nickname. That's what her whole family calls me. My husband, his whole family calls me China. Like, I have like 17 different nicknames, and some of them reflect my ethnicities. Some of them reflect the way I look. You know what I'm saying? You know, how about people whose like their nickname is gordo? That means fat in Spanish, but that's the nickname they have because they're probably were like a chubby kid. It's just what it is. People call each other whatever names they call each other. So like, if it's not meant in a derogatory way, then why are you taking it derogatory? You understand what I'm trying to say, y'all? We're all adults here. Can we snap the hell out of it? All this high school nonsense is so annoying to me, so stupid, and it has no place in the doll community, because that's not what this community is about. And if people are using their dolls to have some kind of weird popularity contest or to make other people feel like crap, no, don't, y'all, do not be associating with those kinds of people. You don't have to be friends with everyone in the doll community, okay? Because everybody's not a good person just because they like dolls. It is what it is. Let's see. Minnie G said, if done well, how would you even tell? And then, of all things, we are adult doll collectors. Should be one of the places that you could be free to express yourself creatively. That's what Cynthia W said, and I agree with you. And that's what this space is for, which is why I have to say something, because I've been running into it too often, too many times, like in between each other, and it really bugs me that people are coming to me for solace because they don't know where else to go to express this stuff. And I appreciate that you guys come to me. I know you guys don't come to me really like to ask me what to do, but when you tell me your experience, it just bugs me. I had another person telling me about run-ins they were having with black women who were telling them that they were somehow appropriating because they had braids, because the woman was Latina and she had braids, and like her dolls had braids. And I was like, y'all gotta stop. Would y'all stop it? This lady said, how you gonna tell me that Black Lives Matter and that representation matters, then when we start representing y'all, you getting upset? You're right, because if by that standard, I would have to tell those same women, why is y'all wearing weave with Chinese people hair in your head? Take my people's hair out your head. You're appropriating. Wouldn't that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, by that logic, give me a break. Would people stop it? Like, it's so ridiculous. I don't understand it. I do understand it, but I don't agree with it. Put it like that. I don't agree with it. Hi, Alex. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's disgusting. I think it's just atrocious and appalling that people do this to each other, and we need to call each other out. If we don't call it out, it will just continue happening, and then it's gonna ruin the good thing that we have going in this community, where people are open with each other, people are nurturing and caring, and people are expressing themselves freely through their dolls and their arts, because that's what this is. And I can't tell you what to do with your art. There are people that come out here and draw art of like crazy things, war scenes, you know, violence. I'm not into that, but as an artist, I have to respect your work. If that's what you want to do and that's how you want to express yourself, then do you, bro. As long as you're not actually hurting anyone, do you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. If these people feel like because I'm a brown person, I'm the only person allowed to have brown dolls, that's your own personal issue. You need to deal with that on your own. You need therapy if that's how you feel. But the rest of us are free to do whatever we want to do. So if I want to have Chinese dolls, if I want to turn my white doll into a Hispanic doll, that's what I'm going to do. Leave me alone. And I'm going to tell my viewers, y'all can do the exact same thing, and they better leave y'all alone, because if they don't, then that's their problem. That's not your problem. You have the right to do what you want to do with the stuff you bought with your own darn money. You feel me? Anyway, so let's get into the rest of what we were going to talk about today. Uh-oh, what did I do? I didn't mean to do that. I always find a way to mess something up, right? Because I'm clumsy. Okay, now we're going to talk about these ladies. Firstly of all right, y'all, this tripod, this is a new tripod, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but bear with me. I'm gonna figure it out one of these days, okay? So yeah, so I'm gonna do a comparison with this face and this face down here. Let me move a little closer so you guys can get a better look. This is me telling myself, oh, I'll have great lighting because I'm just be outside in the sunlight. Let's see how that goes. If I knock everything over. Goodness. Ugh. All right, here we go. Okay, they're two different heights, so I gotta kind of adjust here, y'all. All right, so I know some of you guys are gonna ask me whose body she's on, because her original body is not this body. She's on the Made to Move body that comes with the Barbie Looks doll, model number 2, I believe. Her sculpt name is L, and that's the donor that I use for her. It's not exactly 100% a match, but they're close enough for her to get away with it right now. And this doll, let's just call her Lyla for a second, that's the name of this sculpt. She's originally got a curvy body that she comes with, and her body also was on high-heeled feet, so that was interesting, because I think most of the curvy dolls come with like flat feet. What does all this little stuff on her face get on my nerves? Anyway, Yeah, but I wanted to show you guys these faces side by side so you can get a closer, better look at them, because a lot of people thought that this is the same sculpt, and they do look extremely similar. Very, very similar sculpts. It almost looks like Lyla is like the budget version of Simone. Simone is this face's sculpt name. That's what it feels like to me when I look at them. Like, it is supposed to be the same sculpt, but one is just the budget version and one is the, you know, the collector version almost. It's probably a stretch. But Barbie does do that. They do that. Like, we have the Curvy Carl face. That's our nickname for it. I don't know what her actual sculpt name is or if Barbie ever gave her a name, but the first ever Curvy Barbie that came out, her face sculpt looked a lot like Carl. But Carl has a much smaller face, so they're so similar, but I think maybe one is just a bigger, more exaggerated version of the other one's face. I don't know. So they do be doing that, and so it's possible that that's what they were trying to do with this sculpt, but it's a little bit hard to tell because other than their noses, everything else on their face, you really have to study to like see where the similarities are. For like the facial shape, for example, I feel like she has a slightly broader face, Lyla, and this middle part right here where the cheekbones are, see, like down here, this part is more like squared off, and hers looks a little more angular to me. So I don't know if that would count as part of the same sculpts. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was exaggerated, I think these guys are actually two different sculpts. But you know, how do you really know for sure until you take all the makeup off and look at them blank, really? But to me, that's what it looks like. Hang on a second. Who the heck? Why people always want to send me messages when I'm busy? All right, I'll look at that later. Thank you. Okay. So, oh, is that what he said? Oh, great. All right, sorry guys, I'm talking to myself and talking to y'all at the same time. Yeah, if you have any questions about these two sculpts, go ahead and leave them, of course. Yeah, no, Alex, you didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss anything. Yeah, but anyway, so I think they just look really similar, and I feel like in my Dollyverse, I'm gonna turn them into relatives of some kind, because I feel like they look close enough to pass as like cousins, or maybe even sisters from another mother. I don't know. Half sisters maybe. So I'm thinking about it. I do want my twins to be from Sudan. So okay. Oh, goodness, everybody messages me when I'm streaming, y'all. I swear they do. Let me move her out the way so you guys can see these other girls. Oh shoot, here I go dropping stuff. Whatever. It is what it is. I used to try to hide my clumsiness, but I just embrace it now, you guys. It's so much easier. You know, that's why they say be yourself, because it's so easy to just be who you are. It's much harder to be someone else. It really is. Look at his yellow car. You want to see his yellow car? Wow, look at my neighbor's yellow car. Ooh, pretty. I don't know what kind of car that is. I just like the color. Okay. I got one neighbor. All he does, he come out of the house and he just be like standing outside his car window, and he'll rap while he's looking at his reflection, and just stand there and rap. And I'll be like, what are you doing? We'll be looking out the window at him just laughing. Oh God. Anyway, all right, it's fun to people watch, you guys. People are strange. So these are my newest twins, and of course before these two, I only had Sierra and Reagan's characters as twins in my entire collection. No other sets of twins, and I've been developing their personalities, trying to figure out the storyline for these two girls. Barton said, hi, I'm a new viewer. I was wondering, what do you think of the theme of wave 3 of the looks collection might be? I love that collection and the Simone sculpt so much. So Barton, right? Here's the dealio. That's a darn good question. Problem is, everyone is rumoring that this is the end of the Barbie Look series. They're saying they're not going to give us any other Barbie Look dolls. And this doll and the two girls that came with her, which is the red-haired one. I shouldn't say came with her. They were released at the same time. This redhead girl and That one, the redhead, her sculpt is called Heidi, and then this one, her sculpt is called Frida. So these two are the ones that dropped at the same time with our Simone sculpt, and people are saying that that's the end of it. So like, I wish I had an answer to your question because if we could speculate a wave 3 like coming, then that would be an interesting question to answer. But people are saying that the designers themselves are saying that that's it, this is the end. So I hope that's really not true. I hope they change their minds. I hope they surprise us and give us another wave or a very similar style of doll to compensate. But ugh, it's so disappointing, so disappointing. But if I was gonna just take a wild guess, the first set of dolls were black and white themed. The next set had silver and black theme. So I would just take a wild guess and say the next wave, if there was one, could have been either black and gold or white and gold. Either one would have been cool. I would have liked either one. Thank you for the response. I low-key heard denim, but that might just be another wild rumor. Denim, huh? Oh, that might have been interesting too. Ooh. Huh, I wonder how that would have looked. That would have been interesting. I think the color scheme, though, would have had some kind of metallic kind of color in it, maybe. I don't know. But I kind of feel like you can't go wrong. I feel like anything that they would have came up with, just because of the face sculpt aesthetic. Like, you know, every doll had its own sculpt that was newly introduced. And then they all had rooted hair, and they all have MTM bodies, and they all have different body types and skin tones for the girls. What? You can't ask for anything better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else do we want? That's like the entire combination of things that adult collectors have been begging for, and finally they gave it to us, and now they're like, oh yeah, that's it. Only 2 waves. Bye, guys. What? I'm gonna tell. Y'all gotta stop smoking that crack. Totally agree. The looks collection has so much potential. Hopefully this is not the end. Yeah, I really hope not. And I hope that other designers learned from this wave and how on top of it people have been. I hope they learned from this as an experience to carry on with them in their designing future when it comes to what they're trying to put together for adults, because there's certain things that most of us want, and this collection really did give us that. And like these dolls, like, oh, here, let me back up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, back it on up. All right, don't mind me, guys. I'm just ridiculous, that's all. It's not your fault, it's me. Yeah, like, see how they're wearing like dresses and gowns? Like, I don't even be wanting to do this with my dolls. I don't like dressy clothes. I don't like real feminine looking clothes. I don't like girly, like pink. Ugh, like, I don't like that. I like for my dolls to wear clothes that I would wear, you know, just like pants, a shirt. Simple, just, you know, just simple. Like, that's how I dress, and I dress a lot of my dolls the same way, or similarly, or like variations of that. Like, they might be a little over the top, but not much, you know. But the look series has made my eyes just adjust a little bit better to the pretty gown, you know, that kind of look. Like, even though I'm not really into that, I don't mind it on these dolls because they just pull it off so well. And kind of, if you guys watch Suresh NY, Suresh is actually like a fashion designer in real life. Like, he's like my son. He like sews and he designs and he draws and he does all of that stuff. So he makes a lot of the dresses that you see on his dolls that are like just flowy and beautiful and extravagant looking. He be making them, you guys. And you know, when I look at his pictures and watch his videos, I'm like, bruh, these dolls are so glam, so beautiful, and they so reflect him. And for his collection, it just works because he's so glamorous. But I'm not like that. So I just get like awkward and clumsy trying to figure out how to like style my dolls when I'm trying to dress them that elegantly. But like with these dolls, it just feels like whatever you put on them, it's just, you're gonna be able to pull it off just because the way that they look. They just have that kind of model-esque kind of look, so it works. And these 2 dolls here, they are on these 2 dolls' bodies. So the original bodies that these girls come with, they've been given. So they have the joints, they have the right skin tone, and I can't believe I have 4 dolls right now in my collection with this extra. I don't know what the name of the skin tone is. Some people call it the Nubian skin tone. I call it the deep chocolate skin tone. But like, this skin tone is freaking amazing because everything looks good on it. It's like a blank slate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so dark. It's almost like borderline black. Like, it's like between black and brown. And everything looks good with black. You know what I'm saying? So like, the way that they look, no matter what you dress them in, like, she's all colorful and she still looks just, I don't know, just very seamless to me. This is the original outfit that the doll came with. I gave her some shoes because she didn't have any shoes, and of course she's on a new body, but other than that, everything is the original stuff. I found this doll a couple days ago at the thrift store, you guys. I'm not even playing with you. I'm not even kidding. I went to the thrift store to look for a shoe rack, okay, and I came out with this doll. She was just sitting up there and on top of a shelf, and I was just like, that can't be right. What's she doing here? What are you doing here? I just walked up to the doll like, excuse me, do we know each other? Are you waiting for me? I couldn't believe my eyes, okay? And it was so funny because when I snapped a picture of it and I sent it to Adon, I said, look what I found here. He said, well, lo and behold, you got a bunch of bodies that will go with that skin tone now, so good for you. You know, it was like perfect timing. But that's what I was holding off for a long time, adding dolls to my collection with this tone, because I knew they weren't going to have no bodies. And this June sculpt back here, she was the only one that I had for freaking forever. I even went so far as to make her a custom made to move body, where I painted the body myself to match her skin tone, and it worked. But the hands, the limbs were starting to, the color was starting to chip off. And because I had used a Caucasian doll's body as the base to color on top of, it was like just all crackled looking, and I just didn't like the way that it looked, you know? So I had to put her away for a little while, and Cynthia, I like your comments. Hi, Inkpad. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. So that's what's up. So I hope to encourage you guys to add, if you don't want to add these dolls to your collection because you're not really that into the sculpt or the way that they're styled, that's cool. But as body donors, potential donors, I would say if you can get your hands on some, grab a couple and stash them away for the future, because you never know what dolls will come out that have the skin tone in the future, and then you missed out on these $20 bodies because you didn't like the doll. It's okay if you don't like her, because you can take her head off and put another one on later on. You feel me? And that's kind of how I feel about most of the dolls that I have that are on made to move bodies. Even if I'm not that into the doll itself, I'll stack away donor bodies just in case I find more dolls with those skin tones later on down the line, and then I have them on stash, you know. Some dolls look good with teeth and some don't, especially if the face sculpts are attractive. Hi, Tevin. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I have a Carnival doll that I probably will never remove the teeth on, and that's the FAO Schwartz toy soldier doll, who's like one of my freaking favorite dolls. I love that doll so much. I love the way they painted that doll's face, because she just looks so playful and happy, and she has a huge smile, but for some reason the way that they did it, it just doesn't bother me. And I feel like if I took that smile away, she wouldn't have the same vibe when I look at her face. But I do have a different Carnival doll that I did close the mouth on, and that version I like with her mouth closed. So I think it just depends on the sculpt, and it depends on the face up too. Sometimes the way that they draw the facial features on. Oh god, I'm trying to reach, you guys. I'm trying to reach. My arms are very short, like everything else on me, including my attention span. All right. Oh gosh. Okay, so definitely leave questions if you guys have anything specific that you want to know about any of these dolls that you're seeing up here and back here. And this one is a little interesting. I do plan on changing. Oh, I gotta show you guys my other doll that I switched up, the Brooklyn one. Brooklyn is the character that is in the same series with this Lyla doll. The Lyla's character and Brooklyn's character are both from the same show, so they have dolls obviously of those characters. And Brooklyn actually comes with a big giant smile, but I closed her mouth and I put her on a new body and just kind of spruced her up a little bit. I might go run in and grab her and show you guys how she turned out, because I did mean to show you guys, but I totally forgot to bring her out here. But let me see what Tevin said. I have the new Totally Hair Kira sculpt. I rebodied her on a curvy. I removed her teeth, but she looks better without them. Oh, did you? Well, that's interesting. But doesn't Kira already have a closed mouth? Did you just repaint it so that you can't see her teeth? Oh, that was fast. My neighbor's coming back from her walk to the library. Okay, so this doll intrigues me. I'm going to probably repaint her. Not totally. I'm going to give her like a partial repaint. I want to make her eyes a little bit smaller, I guess. And kind of what I did with this girl right here. So you gotta move out the way, hun. You just all up in my way. Thank y'all. Thank you very much. I seen her at Target today. I wanted her to the hair play, but I will wait till she go on sale. I don't feel like spending $30 on that right now. Yeah, I feel you. Somebody asked me, Adonis asked me if I wanted the cutie reveal dolls from the next 2 waves after the first one, because I have the first wave. And I was like, not yet. He was like, what you mean not yet? I was like, nah, I got other dolls that are more of a priority than them, so I'll wait. I ain't trying to waste money on them just right now. But I don't know why this thing does not want to focus on June's face back there. Maybe she's just in the way. Oh, that's what it is. She's just all up in my way. Kira originally does have a closed mouth smile, but some of the newer ones, they painted smiles on them. Yeah, it's a little annoying, but those are easier to get rid of the teeth because you just have to erase them or paint over them. So yeah, but what I did with her was I closed her eyes some, right? I added a little bit of freckles, closed up her mouth, and then I just gave her like piercings. It's not really pierced, it's just glitter. That's just glitter dots, okay? Glitter. And then I gave her a little bit of hair around her hairline, like the little baby hairs. But because the paint is black and her skin is so close to black, it's so very hard to see those details unless you're like zoomed all the way in up close on the doll. Like it's very difficult to see them from a distance. And then I painted her nails black as well. But yeah, so she's got a lot of black going on with her coloring. And then the lips, from this distance, I know you can't really tell. They look like they're black, but they're actually like a deep purple kind of a color mixed with a burgundy. So, but it's hard to see on the skin tone because she's so dark that those colors aren't really like coming out strong on her skin. But it's okay. I don't mind that it's like kind of muted. I like the dark coloring going on with the doll. I like that. BMR Kira has a painted smile too, as well as Holiday 2021 Kira. Some of the Kira dolls' hairlines are so far back it's unattractive. Tevin, I like how real you always keep things. Thank you for that, sir. Yeah, I do agree with you though, and I'm still debating whether or not I want to add some of these newer dolls that are coming out, just because some of them are pretty, but I have so many of that same head sculpt that I just feel like I don't need that many. I don't need another one, you know, unless it's a skin tone I don't have. But like, for the most part, I think I'm satisfied. So I'm trying to hold off and build up. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to build up my collection of sculpts that I either have very few of or none of. That's really where my focus is right now. So that's part of the reason why you're not going to see a whole bunch of fashionistas popping up on my channel or my feed. You're not going to see a whole bunch of mermaids and, you know, Barbie extras. Like, I'm not focused on those dolls because their face sculpts are way too hackneyed and I already have a bajillion of them as is. As you know, if you've seen my face sculpt study series, I already have so many multiples of certain sculpts. I don't need anymore, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at, and I want to stick to the sculpts I don't really have too many of or none of. I hope the Naturalistas dolls are coming soon, especially the dark skin one. That is the one I want first. That's what Tevin is saying about the Naturalistas dolls. How many of you guys are planning to get those dolls? I was thinking about it, but so far I haven't really seen one that is catching my eye enough for me to want to try them out right away. I want to wait. Uh, yeah. Anybody know if this doll has a name for this sculpt? I don't know what the sculpt name is. I'm not sure if it has one. It probably does, but I'm not really sure. And this doll is also a Fashionista's doll that I put onto a Made to Move body. I think I want to say I used just a regular default Millie skin tone body for this. Ink Pad said I've actually really been excited about those dolls as well, the Naturalistas dolls. Okay. And I think her face is really pretty, and she kind of give me like, I don't know why, she just reminds me a lot of like the Kardashians. The sculpt does. So I don't know, am I like, I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing things, but to me she just really looks like a Kardashian. This face up doesn't look like a Kardashian, but the sculpt looks like the base that would be used for like a Kim K look-alike repaint, if that makes sense. Cynthia said got them on pre-order, figure I can return if they're not all that. Well, that's true, especially if you order them on Amazon. Amazon's pretty good about letting you return things, so that's a very low risk way to try them out, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna do something with her face. I'm gonna add some stuff to it, and then I'll give you guys a little update when I do, and you can see how she turned out. And then this is another one that I was working on. This doll is a strange little doll, I'll tell you that much. She's strange. On the back of her head it says JPI something something, and I don't know exactly what this doll is supposed to be about, but I gave her new hair, and her forehead is massive, which I didn't even realize until after I finished rooting all her hair in. And then I was looking at her going, maybe I should have gave her some bangs, because dang girl, you got a 7 head. But for now I'll just leave her alone. And then I gave her a little bit of touch-ups on her face. I didn't really do that much to her. I just like went over her eyebrows a little, just darkened them a little bit. That's pretty much it, and gave her a mole. But I gotta still what's the word I'm looking for, give her my finishing touches, because she's not done yet. But I put her on a new body, I give her some joints, and I don't know what to do with her. She's just a strange little doll, and her face intrigues me, so I got her at the thrift store, mind you. I didn't buy this doll brand new, I probably never would. She was just floating around inside the thrift store, and she looked very, very unfortunate, I guess. So I felt like I had to try and do something with her. She has inset eyes, which I thought was interesting, and I never seen a doll that looks like this. She's kind of like old-fashioned looking, sort of, but not at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but she's just strange. So I was like, I don't know, I don't have a doll like this. We'll see how I feel after I put her together. So that's what I did. And then this is my Vera Wang doll that I redressed into, well, whose outfit is you wearing, girl? This is a Lunar New Year Barbie's outfit. Lunar New Year doll from, I want to say 2020 or 2021, one or the other. And I like her in this dress a lot, actually. I might keep her in this for a little while. So yeah, but she's got a very plain face. There's not a whole lot going on with the makeup and all of that stuff. It's just extremely ordinary looking. You guys, you know Vera Wang is Chinese. My son says that this doll looks white. Every time he sees it, he's like, who's that supposed to be? And I'm like, you don't see it? Like, we even went to Kohl's one day, and we were like walking by the Vera Wang clothes section, and her picture was up on the wall, and I was like, look, that's the lady. She's the face that's on my doll. And he was like, that lady's Chinese. I was like, I know. And she was like, but your doll doesn't look Chinese. I'm like, Gino, stop hating. What you guys think? Do you think she looks white, or do you think she looks Chinese? I think it's because they drew her face in brown. Like the paint that they used to make her features, they used a brown color instead of black. You see how the eyebrows are like a dark brown, and like everything here is brown. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Maybe that's why he doesn't think that it looks Asian enough, I guess. I don't know, but he don't see it. And to me, because she looks so much like Vera Wang, I think she looks Asian, but Gino says no. I don't know. Maybe it's just his opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think she looks Asian? Tevin said, I have one of the mermaids dolls. I only bought her because she was more than 50. Whoa, okay. 50% off retail at the store. I bought her. Why everything at your local area be so, like, cheap? Like, they go on sale, like, crazy. Like, y'all be having crazy clearance sales where you're at. Minnie G says, I'm interested, but I hesitate because I have to see them in person because the head scale might be different. That's true. I think based on the pictures that the head's probably going to be very similar to Barbie head size. If anything, it might be a little bit smaller than what we're used to as far as fashionistas, but it's probably not going to be that much different. I just want to wait to see how they look because the way they come already, I know I would never display them like that. Like the clothes, no. The bodies, no. The hair, no. No. Like the textures are cool, but they're way too big with no definition. It's just to me, I just know I'm gonna end up having to spruce it. I'm gonna have to fix it. I'm gonna have to customize it. I'm gonna have to, you know, meddle with it. Like, it's just too much hands-on stuff I'm gonna have to do with this doll brand new, and it's not a Barbie, so I have to kind of get used to it. I don't know, you guys. And then, like, what kind of fibers are they going to use for the hair? I'm very concerned about the hair because it's textured hair. And if you guys have tried out Fresh Dolls, you know that the Fresh Dolls doll hair fiber is not like regular Barbie saran that I'm used to. Like this smooth, very tangle-free fiber that they use. This to me is the highest grade of hair that you can use on Barbie dolls. And if it's going to be less than that, how tolerable is this hair texture? Like Hasbro hair is complete garbage. Disney store hair is like semi garbage. Like it's tolerable, but you really got to be very careful with it so that, because it could get messed up easily if you're not paying attention, you know. Barbie hair, even with curls like this, you can have the doll for years and years and years and give it a nice little, you know, conditioner wash, fabric softener wash every once in a while, and it's just bounced back to its normal state. But with some of these other brands, I don't know. So that's part of the reason why I'm gonna hold off on the Naturalistas, because the textured hair, I'm concerned that it's gonna be good for maybe a month, and then after that it's just gonna be Tangle City, and ain't nobody got time for that. Let's see, because we have bargain hunt stores. Oh wait, hold on, I'm trying to read Tevin's comment. Maybe because we have bargain hunt stores. Oh, is that the package I'm waiting for? My neighbor wants me to go and grab her package when it comes. I think it's here. Let's see. We have bargain hunt stores. We also have dirt cheap and Ollie stores, as well as clearance racks and some of the retailers near us. Oh, you guys have just a bunch of different like discount stores. That's the great thing about the South too. They be having all kinds of stores down south that y'all ain't never heard of. Like Roses. They just be having all kinds of stores, and they carry things that you wouldn't normally think they would have there until you go and you're like, whoa, where'd all this come from? Y'all should have seen the haul of dolls that I done found at Roses when we lived in North Carolina. Goodness. That doll might be a star model agency doll. Yeah, it is. It is. This JPI thing, yeah, that's what this doll is. Star model agency. Yep, you're right. And she got a long ways to go as far as being a model, but she's getting there. She's, you know what it is? Not that she's not cute. It's that she's not like pretty. Like she's just like a baby. Like she has like a baby face. I didn't even know that this doll was supposed to be an adult until I looked it up online and saw the pictures of the doll in the original state, and I was like, what? She's supposed to be a model? How? Let's see. Well, I guess kids could be models. Rainbow High MGA doll's hair is better. Barbie because it's higher quality nylon. Yeah, you're right. I got the Encanto sister dolls from Disney and was surprised the hair is of such bad quality. That's what Infinite Star says about the hair quality. And bro, like for real, like Disney, like and Hasbro hair, it looks good in the packaging, but then when you take it out, you touch it, it's stiff. It's like a little stiff. It doesn't have weight to it. That's why I like this kind of saran hair, because see, it has weight. Like it's gonna stay, or like it'll relax. That Hasbro Disney hair, it just be like sticking up in the air like this. Like it's like stiff. And then when you try to like mold the hair so it can sit the way you want it to, it won't. It'll just fluff back up into the air and just be like floating, kind of. I don't know. Like, what? No. Nope. Even as a play doll, like, to me, that's annoying, because I don't want to keep fidgeting around with this dang doll's hair while I'm playing either. You know, maybe it's just me, but I'm just saying. Retro Nerd Girl said, I'm so glad to finally catch your stream today. It's so funny because I'm working on my dolls today. Oh, what a great time to catch a stream, huh? Let's see, but we got like 10 minutes left, you guys, because I'm on a schedule, so I can't be on here all day. Like, I probably would if you just leave me to my own devices. That's why I have to time myself, because if I don't, like 3 hours will go by and I'll be like, oh wait, we're not done talking yet. All right, so Tevin said Rose's doll section has been garbage for a few years now. You're not missing out on anything. I feel you. Who's been to Tuesday morning lately? Every time I go up in there, I'll be looking at the dolls area and I'm like, no. Like, what? Ew, y'all need to do something. This looks abysmal. They be having the same crap that's over at Walmart, and I'm like, why? Y'all need to be doing something else over here. Recently, the best dolls I've seen at my Tuesday morning is the holiday Barbies that have the silver dresses, like the Kira Sculpt and there's the black one with the twisted hair. Those are the only ones that I see over there, and I don't want neither one of them, so I'm not really running to go get those. I feel like at my local store, the lowest price I've seen for those is $30, which isn't that far away from the original price to me. So it's not worth it just for the head. But if you were trying to add those dolls just because you want them or you need them in your collection, then that might be an option for you to try Tuesday morning, because sometimes they have like collector dolls over there for no reason at ridiculous prices. That's where I found my Harlem Theater Selma sculpt, and I also found two different Silkstone dolls over there. And what else did I find? I found a good handful of dolls that I would probably not thought to order, and if I did want to order them, the prices would have been like a turn off and I would have just waited. Yeah, so I would say that's what those stores are good for. But lately they don't have any options. They don't have nothing. Some old school Barbie dolls' hair is just as bad as Hasbro hair because it's dry and nappy and sheds too much. I agree with you. Like the 90s dolls, some of them have like horrible hair. And when I go to thrift stores, sometimes I'll see like old, like superstar face sculpts just hanging out in their toy sections, all crazy looking with hair all up in the sky, and one leg looks like it was chewed off. And I'll look at them and think like, do I want to rehab you? Yes or no? You know, some of you guys, I don't know if you noticed, Pinkie Pie, who was in this live, my friend Alex, he lives here in the same state as me in Washington, and he reroots doll hair, and he does like commissions and stuff like that. And sometimes when we're exchanging photos, he'll be sending me pictures of like some dolls that he rerooted, and I'll just be looking at him like, you must got a lot of patience, bruh. Like, you just rerooted this doll for fun? I wish I had that kind of patience. Oh, the makeovers that I would have just lined up if that was the case, but I just don't got it like that. It took me so much patience to do this one's head, and I used whose hair did I use for her? I used the hair that comes on the Tamika Barbie Looks doll, the little petite one with the burgundy hair. So I had an extra one whose head was just floating around, so I was like, all right, well, let's see what we can do with this hair. So I gave her the hair, and it's beautiful hair. I love this hair. The hair is awesome, but it just took so freaking long. So long. It just, I was so turned off, you guys. I don't have the patience. Yeah, so when I'm looking at pictures of other people's work, as inspiring as it is, I'll just be like, man, I ain't got this kind of, no. If I don't already have ADD, I'm developing it, okay? It's coming on full force, especially when I have to sit still for too long doing stuff like that. Like, I can repaint a doll all day. I can do all the rebodying and teeth extractions and surgery. I could do all of that stuff, and the time will just fly by and I won't even notice. But rooting, no. when I sat down with this doll, I really told myself, like, I'm just gonna watch TV and then I'll fly through it. I'm gonna just watch TV while I do it. It's not like that. Like, you gotta be paying attention to the holes that you're putting the hair into. You're working with a needle, so you can't just do any old thing. You gotta, like, make sure you don't accidentally stab yourself. It's a lot of, like, safety hazards. And then you gotta, like, fight with the scalp to get the needle through it. Like, it's just a lot going on. And you know, when I used to do reborn dolls, I would get a lot of pleasure out of rooting hair because it felt so relaxing. But I was using a felting needle when I was doing that, so you're just poking the needle through the scalp. You're not really doing all this like manual hands-on acrobatics. So it's a little bit different, the technique and that I use for this doll's head. If I could just root the doll hair like that, I would probably just zip right through it. But I don't have a felting needle on hand right now. And I don't feel like going and getting one just to do that. Like, I don't want to be bothered. So, that's not my forte. But one of these days, I'll try to be more patient about that. So, we'll see how that goes. You know, like this one, she's got short hair. And it doesn't look bad on her. I don't mind it. But at some juncture, if I get bored with it, I mean, I would like to have the option of giving her more hair. Although I was thinking about just making a bunch of wigs because I feel like that would be okay. Oh goodness, what is this? Why does everybody want to text me when they know I'm doing? Y'all, my neighbor walked by and she saw me filming. She sees me on the porch here talking to you guys. She goes home and then she sends me a text message saying, "Hey girl, you just saw me outside. What the heck?" Anyway, all right. So let's see. I haven't inboxed Lyla yet. I got her on Thursday. Oh, you haven't unboxed her yet. You got Lyla. Did you get this one? Is that the one you're talking about? Oh, I did some. You know what I did? I gave her a bunch of moles. Gave her a bunch of little beauty marks all over her body, all of her not quite like freckles, but just distinct moles everywhere. And I don't have a doll like that, so I thought that would be kind of fun. And I like the way she looks with her moles, because I know some people in real life that just are covered in moles. They're not freckles. They're just like different beauty marks all over their bodies. And that's cool. I've seen some good dolls at TJ Maxx today. Say word. I haven't been to TJ Maxx in forever. Lyla is my new favorite Playline Barbie. You know, that's funny you said that, ink pad, because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking this face is like really cool and I don't mind looking at it over and over and over again. She's definitely on my main display right now and kind of just hanging out with these darker girls too because she looks like she's like related to them. So I kind of have her posing with them a lot. They just go together very seamlessly. Hi, Nola. And did I tell you Nola? I have a doll named Nola. I feel like I told you that, right? Yeah, I do. I have a doll named Nola. And my doll Nola, I named her after one of my customers' babies. I had a customer that was pregnant and me and her used to talk all the time. And then I didn't see her for a while and then she popped up skinny. And I was like, "Oh, what happened? She had your baby." And she's like, "Yeah, I named her Nola." And I was like, "Oh, that's a cute name." And then the next doll that I got, I gave her that name. So every time I think of that doll or when I hear the name Nola, I always picture that customer. But she was a really nice lady. That's why I will pay someone else to do it because I don't have the time. Amen, Tevin. I ain't got the time to be rerouting, okay? So that's why we have people like Alex who will take a commission and do it for you. Let's see. Aiden said, "What made to move body is that?" I have her on the wheelchair body, but I saw she is on a curvy. So, oh, okay. Yeah, Nola is correct. This is the Barbie Looks 2's body. And you said you have her on the wheelchair doll's body. I feel like the wheelchair doll would be a little bit dark for her face. This body that she's on, it's not too dark for her, but it's not exactly the same shade, not the same hue of color. It's a slightly different hue, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I think it would just depend on your lighting and the way you're taking your pictures, if that's how you're doing it. But to keep her curvy was why I put her onto this body, because I didn't want her to lose her curviness by putting her onto another one. So I'm just going to keep her like this until I find a better curvy body for her. But I did see somebody's post, I don't remember who it was, somebody had made a post where they matched her to, what was the doll? You know, that movie, what is that movie called? Oh Lord, I should know because I have a doll from that movie line too. The one, you know, the Oprah doll, you guys. Oprah, she played that weird character from that weird movie with the weird stuff happening in it and the weird stuff. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The magical stuff. Can you tell I didn't watch the movie? What a mess. Why do you guys like me? Oh my god. Wrinkle in Time. Yes, thank you. Oh Lord, it's okay if you think I'm a weirdo, because so do I. Yeah, so she, that person who made the post posted a comparison of her next to that doll, and in the picture it looks like they're actually a very close match, if not a perfect match. So if you want her to stay curvy and you can't get your hands on a model number 2, that might be an option for you if that doll is in your stash already, or if you can get a hold of that doll, you might be able to give her this head, and then that could work. So yeah, but it looked like in the pictures it was probably a better match than this one color wise, so that'd be cool. And she'll still be curvy because I believe that doll has the curvy body type too. Yeah. Oh snap. Okay, well, we're right on time, so I think I have to go, and I'll come back and share some more information with you guys. Viola Van Veen, Super Dolls, thanks from fan to Germany. Oh, you're in Germany. Hi. So yeah, that's what's up. Do I have a doll that represents a German? I don't think I do. I need to have a German doll now. Yeah, so that's what's up. Okay, so I didn't, you know, and there's something else I gotta unbox my Power Pair doll still, and I still haven't done that because I want to do it on camera, but obviously my time's up, so I don't have time to do it today. But the next time I'm on with you guys, then I'll make sure that I bring those dolls out so we can rebody them, because we need to figure out what body is going to be good for the female doll. I already know that the Barbie Looks male doll body is going to work for the guy, but for the girl, I don't really know. So we're going to experiment. We're going to do it on camera so you guys can see with me. But anyway, yeah, why am I holding her? I don't know why I'm holding her, but she cute. That's all. She cute. Okay, she cute. She thinks she cute. She thinks she cute, and that's what's the most important thing. As long as you think you cute. It don't matter if you really are or not. What do you guys say? Hold on. They look so much alike, but the one on the right has a stronger jawline. I always come at the end anyway. Do you? But the good thing is that even if you don't catch the lives while they're live, you guys can watch them when they're, you know, up on the channel, which is another reason why I try not to go over my time, even though I always do. But I try not to, because I want to keep them kind of concise so you guys have time to watch them, and it's not like a full feature, full length movie. You got to stop everything you're doing and watch the streams, you know? But it's more so you can like listen to it while you're doing other stuff, and then if you want to chime in, then you can chime in, and you can leave your comments, whatever, right? Viola said, I love Asian and Black Barbies. And Inkpad said, good night, lovely life. Thank you. Thanks for coming by. Thank you to all the new people that are coming over here. And I hope that the new people are learning, especially if you go back later and watch the beginning of this video where I was talking about some of these issues that I'm seeing coming up in the doll channel with race relations and people getting upset because collectors who are not black people are turning their dolls black, or or wanting to do things with their dolls that represent black culture, and then somehow people are getting offended by it, or like that whole thing like is so ridiculous. And I don't want other people who are new to this community or new to collecting diverse dolls, because some of us have been collecting dolls for ages, and then it just like clicked in your head somewhere where you're like, you know what, there's options now. I don't have to just have a bunch of white dolls. I can have Asian dolls, Hispanic looking dolls, black looking dolls, mixed looking dolls, whatever, right? Like this one right here. Oh snap, I'm breaking stuff. She can pass for a lot of different races. I'm calling her Azira, and I want her to be like some kind of Middle Eastern kind of race. I don't know exactly what yet. I haven't figured out which country, but that's what I want her to represent, and I think she looks like someone who could be from one of those backgrounds, so that's what I want to do. But does that mean you're being racist? You see what I'm saying? Like, racist means you're against whatever that race is. or you don't like it, or you're being prejudiced against it, you're discriminating against it. It's a negative attitude, not positive. Everything isn't racist because it's just not your race. Like, that's weird. That's the weirdest thing ever. So weird to me. That would be like saying, oh, black people are appropriating white people because they wear clothes that white people wear. Why are you wearing a polo shirt? Why are you wearing dress pants? That's appropriating. What? Like, what are you talking about? That's just Western culture in general. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Maybe white people invented it. Maybe they introduced it to us, but it has become mainstream, right? That's weird, you know? To me, that's so weird. It's like when people hear someone playing hip hop and it's like a Asian person, why are you listening to hip hop? Because it's music, because I like it. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with your race. It doesn't have anything to do with that, and you're not being a racist because you're enjoying things from other cultures. Especially here in America, we should be the last people talking like that. Our cultures are so mixed up here. Like, this entire country is made up of everybody's cultures. Everyone who done came through our nation has contributed something to our culture. Taco Bell exists because we have lots of Mexicans and Hispanic people that have brought their food over here. Like, that's how we bond with each other, over food. So should we no longer eat Taco Bell unless we're part Hispanic now? Like, what are you people talking about? It doesn't make any damn sense. No sense at all. No sense at all. And we cannot be giving these people room and air to breathe around us with this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Please don't. So I hope that the people who are new to this thing and people who are newly visiting over here at this channel where I be at, that y'all know we don't do that over here. And if you see people in the comments saying stuff like that, please get on them. Please, you have my permission to get on them, to get out of here with that nonsense, because it's complete nonsense. Actually, I even had, the last thing I'm going to say, I had a viewer ask me over on Instagram just a few days ago about these dolls, asking why I was changing the skin tone of the dolls in the pictures, which completely mind boggled me, because I was like, what are you talking about? Right? So I'm like, who? Like, what are you talking about? And then I said, why are you asking me this? Like, what are you talking about? I take the pictures and I upload them. What part got changed? I'm like, oh, this is the way they came from the factory. What do you mean? This person was under the impression that I was putting filters on the pictures to, on purpose, lighten the skin tones of the dolls, because my pictures didn't look the way their pictures looked, and their pictures, the dolls looked darker in them. And I had to tell them, like, bro, listen, I'm not no photographer. I ain't never said I was. If anything, I'd be cracking on myself at how horrible I am at taking pictures and how much better than me you guys are, right? So I sent them a bunch of different shots of my dolls in different lighting, and I told them the pictures you're commenting on I took in broad daylight outside. My device is not the same device you use, so obviously our pictures are not going to look the same. Why is the first assumption you're making is that somebody lightened the pictures because they want to make the skin tones lighter? What? I was like, you must not be following the rest of my feed, because if you were, you'd know I'm a huge advocate for diversity over here. So, like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And basically they had to tell me, like, oh, well, you know, people be whitewashing the dolls and media be lightening up the pictures, and I just assumed that's what you were doing. And I was like, that's a problem that happens, but you shouldn't assume that everybody who posts pictures of their dolls and they don't look exactly the way you want them to look, that's what they're doing. Like, your first assumption should not be that. You know what I'm saying? So we had a conversation about it, and it wasn't like a bad conversation. It was a good conversation, and it was a good question, because I'm sure that's the only person who thinks like that. But I had to really kick it to this person, like, yeah, no, you're just jumping to conclusions here, because that's not what's going on. And even if I was doing that, who cares? Why are you worried about it? It's my pictures and my dolls. I can do what I want to do with them. If I want to make them rainbow colors, I can make them rainbow colors, because sometimes I do put filters on the dolls for artistic reasons, not because I'm trying to change their tones up, just for the art of it. Sometimes, you know, you just put cool, crazy glitter and like filters all over your stuff, because why not? Because we got filters, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? People do that all the time. So it's not a big deal, but like, you got to think about the person's intent, you know? So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because a lot of these people will just accuse you, oh, you're being a racist because you made your white doll into a black doll. What? You're being a racist because you turned her straight hair into an afro. What? You're being weird because you named your doll this thing and it's derogatory. What are you talking about? People will find any and every reason to say some weird outland. Like, if I put her on a curvy body, somebody's going to be like, what are you, skinny shaming? Calm down. Relax. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? People be taking things way too far. But anyway, so enough about that. I gotta get out of here for real, because I gotta pee. And oh darn it, I shouldn't have said that because I can't cut it out now. Whatever. I gotta pee, okay? Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And if you have questions about anything you saw here, then when this video goes live, well, it's live, but I mean when it publishes and you can like leave comments on it, you can leave your questions and I'll try my best to answer the questions. Ugh, gross. Anyway, alright, and then oh, I forgot to show you guys this too. The stuff that I did to her face. That's what it was I was going to show you. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. You know, this is what happens when you're very disorganized, okay? But you didn't hear that from me because I'm not disorganized. I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about people. People be disorganized, but not me. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so these girls who I decided to make twins, I did a couple of different things to them to kind of like change them up a little bit so they'll be easier to tell apart, although I can already tell them apart anyway. But what I did was I gave them molds, so they're on opposite sides of the face. So hers is right here. It's hard to see because my lighting is starting to go away. Can you see it? It's right under her eye. She's got a little beauty mark there. She's got one on the other side. And then if you look at their makeup, I removed some of the makeup from her face under her eyes. She still has all her original makeup. And I also thinned out her eyebrows so they're not the same exact thickness, I guess, as her sister. And I know it's so hard to tell here, but if you look at pictures of them that I'm posting and that I have posted, then it will be a little bit easier for you to see it. But yeah, so I just made slight adjustments on their face. I'm not totally done with them. I think I still have a couple more things I want to do with them before they're completely done and I can just leave them up on the shelf and I'm finished. But so that's what we did. So that's the update on the sisters. And as far as like their personalities, I think I'm gonna have their personality so far that I've built up for them is actually based on me and my sister's personalities. A lot of people used to think me and my sister were twins when we were growing up, but we aren't. I'm the older one by like a year and a half, so they just assumed that we were twins because I guess they think we look alike, but whatever. And she just looks like the more calmer, relaxed, serene sister, and she just looked like the little bit more hype, outgoing sister. And I feel like I'm gonna end up basing her personality a lot on my sister and this one a lot on myself when I was a teenager, kind of a deal. So she's like the poet, she's the singer, she's the piano player, and then she's the dancer, she's the bike rider, she's the rollerblade rider, she's the she's the outgoing, you know, athletic one who loves to do things with her body. She likes to move around. And then she's the cerebral one that likes to think and do creative things and make things with her hands. And that's kind of how I'm working out their personality traits. So we'll see how that develops into a story later on. But anyway, those are just some ideas that I had that I'm playing around with. And this one, I'm calling her eBay. Yes, eBay, like eBay, the website. But I spelled it I-B-E-I. And this one, her name is S.I.S. And they're the Sudanese girls. All right, that's what I'm doing with them. That's what we doing. And then I still haven't decided about her character, if I want her to be related to them or like just their homegirl. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out, but it's a work in progress. You know, it's fun to have storylines for your dolls because it kind of makes it easier to figure out how to dress them, how to pose them, what kind of scenes you want to take pictures of them in, what other characters you want to pose them with, which characters they might get along with, which characters they might not get along with. So it's fun to kind of do it like that when you're trying to come up with photo stories. Are you guys going to go out? Oh. I don't think I do. I think Appa does, but I'm not really sure, so I have to come and check. It does. Do you need a security code? Oh, okay. Well, that's the one. All right. I gotta go because I gotta pee. Bye, guys. Have a Dolly day. Subscribe.